As for Hare, well, no one's quite sure what happened to him. Some say he fled Edinburgh after turning Queen's evidence, but I heard that the mob got him, and that they threw him in a vat of lime, and he ended his days as a blind beggar on Princess Street. But as for Burke, oh, the mob wanted blood. "Burke him," they cried as he climbed the scaffold. They hung him by his neck till he was dead. The next day, they dissected his body. Yes, in fact, they did. They invited prominent citizens, and then the mob got its chance. 30,000 people, I'm told, filed through that tiny anatomical theatre just to gawk at the murderer's body. Now, that was the mob for you. And if you were in my line of work and you were to be caught, pray to God the police would catch you. They'd just haul you off to jail, the mob. Well, they'd string you up on a lamppost, make a public demonstration of what good Christians they are. I know. It nearly happened to me. It was, in fact, my last night raid. As I said, the papers here, they were all full of that Burke and Hare nonsense. People thought it was the same thing here. Mobs rioted at Davidge Hall. They even set fire at one point. It did some damage. But after a while, things calmed down, and it seemed safe again to resume nightly raids. Well, I enlisted the services of a young medical student named Walker. Walker and I, we headed out of that secret entrance behind Davidge Hall, right here again, old Western burial ground. We were looking for a crypt, and we had no trouble finding it. But as soon as we had lifted the front casement off of that crypt, we heard a voice say, "I saw something over here." Then we heard other voices and footsteps. We knew that was the mob. We knew we had no choice but to climb inside that crypt, close up the front casement, extinguish our lanterns, and wait. And that's exactly what we did. Oh, the mob knew that we were somewhere in this boneyard. And they were going around to all of the crypts and mausoleums, shining their fish oil lanterns through the vents, trying to find us. Well, the night wore on. My limbs became terribly cramped. I couldn't move, you see. Fear of causing sound, giving away our location. Well, Walker fared much worse. That poor lad suffered from what they now tell me they call claustrophobia. Well, without a word to me, he suddenly leapt up, he pushed open that front casement, he ran right out of the vault. I had to follow. There we were, standing in the cool night air. We immediately heard someone say, "There they go!" We knew, Walker and I, we knew that our only hope was to scale the wall, you see, jump down to Green Street, make it back to Davidge Hall. But upon landing in the street, Walker, he twisted his ankle. My first impulse was to help him, was to throw him over my shoulder, as I'd done with so many corpses in the past, but already I could feel the rocks whizzing past my ears. And I turned to him, and for all my days I will never forget the look on his face as he yelled at me, "Run, Frank! Save yourself!" To my eternal shame, that is exactly what I did. I only looked back once. I saw them dragging Walker up to the corner where they later hung him. Several men still followed me, so I knew I had to get back to Davidge Hall, but as soon as I went in, I revealed the location of that secret entrance. My pursuers followed. Once inside the hall, I began screaming my fool head off, but the hall was empty, save for a few partially dissected cadavers to offer me any assistance. And so I decided to join them. And I leapt onto a dissecting table, I pulled a blood-stained cloth over my head, and I held my breath as one rioter after another ran past me. At some point in the evening, the police cleared out those rioters. But because of my ordeal, I was bone weary. I fell asleep. and I slept soundly. I slept so soundly, in fact, that I did not hear the students arrive in the morning and take their seats for their anatomy lecture. It was only as I heard Dr. Davidge describe the able-bodied man that he was about to dissect that I first started to wake up, and first felt the cold steel of his scalpel penetrate my chest. Fully awake now, I pushed his hand away, but not before that scalpel punctured my lung. I could feel air escaping from my body, and I began to shake. Now, I shook for so long, so violently, that it took me many minutes indeed, to realize that it was just Dr. Smith shaking me, waking me from a nightmare. Sadly, the events of the previous evening were no dream. Walker, in fact, was dead. And I told Davidge and Smith that that was, in fact, going to be my last night raid. And after that, well, I got a different job. I started to drive a hearse. I thought it might be a change of pace to take the bodies to the graveyard instead of out of them. Certainly much easier. Well, I can talk about these things today, because, well, times have changed now, haven't they? Today, dissection is now well, it's a normal, honorable part of the teaching of medicine. Medicine itself has changed. It's risen out of the ancient practices of superstition. So, the next time the doctor makes your fever go away or sets your broken bone, please don't forget all of the people in the graveyards who gave so much of themselves. And most of all, don't forget the valuable contributions made to medicine by me, Frank the Body Snatcher. Now stay alive. Happy Halloween to you. Goodbye.
Okay, let's hear it again for Frank the Body Snatcher. Okay, who's up for round 3 of Poe Trivia? Oh, no, you already did it.
It has a